Hi, beautifuls. Happy Thursday. Um, I don't know if anybody else is still like reeling from the eclipse energy, but that felt like a drastic one. Um, if you didn't know this, eclipses are all about those um universal interventions where things are eclipsed in and out of your life. So, um and I was meditating during the eclipse, and I just heard in my head like the worst is over. You're done. You get to just enjoy now. It feels like spring has sprung, and it's like a new energy, a new reality almost. So I don't know if you guys have been feeling the energetic waves too, but make sure to treat yourself extra specially and nurturing, because I feel like in our culture, work is considered something that you can create a tangible product or outcome, or working towards achieving something, right? But energetic work is more like, I think of it as more like feminine, because you might just be sitting there. You might just be, to someone else, it might look like you're just like zoning out or even being lazy. But if you're staying in that space of centeredness within yourself while the energy is fluctuating, you are transmuting and coming into this like higher alignment with like your God self, because you're allowing your physical body the space to rest and recover and recalibrate itself to this new paradigm, I want to say. So if you've been feeling like a little bit sicky, or just like having some like unpleasant physical symptoms, just remind yourself that it's temporary. And I think it's a pretty human thing. Like whenever we experience any kind of discomfort, like our impulse is kind of naturally to like dissociate or go out of our body or stop feeling it. But everything is temporary, right? So when we're able to stay present and accept whatever is happening within our being, without judgment or fear, it's like that's when the most growth, the most like ascension is able to take place, because you're staying within, like you're acknowledging the discomfort. And like I've tried this on, so like, how do I put this? I've done so many experiments with this for myself, and it works every time. Like when part of you is hurting, it helps me to do littler things like bug bites or something, because when you're already in like a massive amount of pain, like this might not work as well. But like if you are having, like, let's say like nausea or like discomfort in your stomach area, then instead of, like scrolling on your phone, like I'm so guilty of that too, or trying to distract yourself, it's like, can you send love to that area of your body? Can you, instead of trying to turn off the feeling, can you like dial it up even? And can you replace it with love and light from your own soul? Like you're your own best healer. And I feel like you've learned so much about healing from this road that you've been on, and it feels really lonely sometimes. And I feel like this is the end of that isolation and solitude. It's like, the seasons are changing. It's time to go like plant our seeds and feel the sunlight, and everything's in bloom again. So let yourself make that transition, as much as you want to just kind of keep hiding away, or like it's uncomfortable, right? When we've gone through this period of like healing, being alone, and that becomes like your routine. It's really uncomfortable to kind of like put yourself back out there, and like even letting yourself have fun again, because you get used to like, oh well, shouldn't there be something that I'm working on? Shouldn't there be something that like I need to address? And I feel like the answer coming through right now is no. Like, it's time for you to just live, to just be, to let yourself make mistakes, and let yourself receive everything that you have been calling in and manifesting. I'm getting this image of like a different house, like you could have like physically relocated somewhere, or you just have like big plans in the future to make a physical relocation. But if you've been looking for confirmation, I do feel like you've gone through this ascension and you no longer, like the space you were in might not necessarily feel comfortable anymore. And like the money, the resources are coming. And be open to receiving them in magical ways. Oh, I see two crows flying together. Oh, like you're not meant to do this alone. I feel like maybe you've been healing this like cycle of what's it called? Hyper independence. I'm calling myself out too. But it feels like before there was like a fear of vulnerability or being taken advantage of, or even just having so many negative experiences in all sorts of relationships that like having this wall up became your default. It was literally self-protection. And now we're in this new era. We're in these new states of being. And it's like, well, I have to kind of take a checklist of everything that does and doesn't serve me anymore, because doing it together means being brave enough to run towards like vulnerability and openness and genuine ability to give and receive. So like I feel like this is the end of your road alone. Like it's all up from here. It just gets better from here on out. And I think you already intuitively know that, so keep creating and keep finding that center and that inner stillness within yourself until it becomes like such a habit that that's your default. And of course that's not an overnight process, but you're not meant to be perfect. You've never had to strive for perfection in anything, because we're all human and everything is flawed, and there's beauty in that too. There's grace and learning in the mess. And I feel that like this last like cycle you've closed out may have been this like tower crumbling moment where it was just like all of these universal forces were kind of shifting things in and out whether you wanted it or not. And that was like the painful process of like, now all this shit's out in the open and how am I gonna put it back together? And I feel like you've gotten to this stage where it's like you're no longer thinking about how to like put it back together, how to just survive, how to just like live another day. It's like, no, now that everything has been removed that really wasn't serving you. That's funny, I kind of get this image of you kind of feeling like a kid who just threw a tantrum and then like 5 minutes later you're like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, my bad for causing a scene. But I do feel like that's how you're looking at everything that's left your life. It's like, oh, my bad for like kicking and screaming on the way out, because now I see this like beautiful open canvas of my life in front of me and unlimited potentiality. Like what I want to do, what I want to experience, what I want to have and be. So I feel like your prayers have already been answered. And this feels like a big one too. It feels like I'm gonna need a miracle kind of prayer. And I feel like you're at this point now where it's like, it doesn't matter what you believe or what you think is still like holding you back or keeping you in like an unhealed space, because that's what miracles are. They come when you're not expecting them. They, like, you don't need someone's, well, I was gonna say you don't need someone's permission to work a miracle, but I was like, oh, that's like unknown territory. I don't know. But I do know that destiny finds you no matter what. And I just feel so, I wish it's hard to put words to this feeling, but it just feels so freeing and open and expansive and exciting. It kind of reminds me of like the day before you know you're about to like go on a trip and you're really excited and you can't sleep the night before. It's like, where am I going to next? 'Cause yeah, you are going on this like journey to your new reality. And just keep loving yourself. Just keep listening to what you need. And trying your absolute hardest not to let like others' expectations or their own needs dictate how you take care of yourself, how you treat yourself. Because you're not going to be in alignment with everybody around you all the time. So just remember that if someone is reflecting something like negative back to you, or something that doesn't feel resonant, like, you know, truth when you hear it, you know, it just like, it settles in your heart and it's like a warm blanket. And if you're still like in these like situations or even like friendships or like social groups where you no longer feel physically comfortable being there, or something internally is just like, oh, this doesn't feel right, then listen to yourself, then allow yourself to set boundaries and take like time and space, no matter what other people are used to from you, because they're not experiencing what you're experiencing. So yeah, I feel like you're really coming into this era of your life that's like, this is what I want, this is what I need. I used to put everyone else's needs ahead of my own, but now I understand that I can't be my best self unless I'm refueling the tank. Like, I can't run on nothing or live for other people. Like, this is my time. This is my story. And yeah, I just feel this sense of fun, like living it up, like happiness and carefree vibes, and just a lot of healing and coming home to yourself and peace and new experiences, because you've never experienced the serenity and the true deeply rooted happiness that doesn't go away. Because you've like nurtured it within yourself. You've tended to your own garden, and now it's time for you to experience everything, to enjoy the full bloom. I feel like you are so magnetic right now. You have done everything perfectly. And if no one has told you, I'm proud of you. And I know how hard it is to rely on your own internal compass, especially when you're not getting that support or guidance, but you never needed it. It's always been within you, one foot in front of the other, and keep being grateful for everything that's already here. It's already here. It's already here. And yeah, just rest. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.